Leading off our discussion tonight is Democratic Senator Adam Schiff of California. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Senator Schiff, I first of all want to get your reaction to this video that we now have about this chase that we saw with these federal agents, one brandishing a gun. They're now claiming that there was some attempt to assault them with the weed whacker. There's no evidence of that on the video. And you heard Alejandro Barranco saying, he's a constituent of yours in California, this whole family is, that he feels betrayed.
Yeah, it's heartbreaking to see that video. It's terrifying to see that video, and I have no doubt he feels betrayed. He should feel betrayed. Here's this man who, for, as I understand it, decades worked in the United States as a landscaper, had no record, no criminal convictions, none of that stuff that the Trump administration claims they're prioritizing. And he did what we would hope someone would do in the sense of he raised, I think, 3 Marines, 3 of his sons Marines. That's extraordinary. And to treat someone who obviously raised his children in such an exemplary way, that way to beat him while he's on the ground, it just breaks your heart. It is a complete betrayal. And I think it just shows you the top-down, morally bankrupt leadership from the president through the attorney general and then onto the street that we just saw. These 2 segments that you portrayed, this Justice Department lawyer, this whistleblower, talking about how he didn't sign up to lie, being essentially ordered to lie or fired because he wouldn't lie by the likes of Emil Beauvais, someone who moved to dismiss the case against the mayor of New York, the corruption case, to which other prosecutors basically said they didn't sign up for that. They refused to corruptly dismiss those charges against the mayor. And one of them said, you might find some fool or some coward to do this for you. That was never going to be me. But now at the top of the Justice Department, this is what we have. We have fools, cowards, and liars at the top of the Justice Department. And you see it now percolate all the way down to the streets of Los Angeles, where they're beating the father of 3 Marines who is a landscaper with no criminal record. It is a betrayal, and it breaks your heart.
So Emil Beauvais, who was Donald Trump's criminal defense lawyer, now top official in the Justice Department, who is on record in this whistleblower's report as profanely vowing to defy federal judges' orders, is coming before you tomorrow for his confirmation hearing as a federal appeals court judge. His confirmation hearing in the Senate Judiciary Committee. What do you want to hear? What would you like him to respond to in this hearing tomorrow?
Well, one of the top concerns that we've had, and we've brought this out in our questioning of all of these nominees for different positions, not just judges, but nominees for high Justice Department positions, is will you obey the law? Will you adhere to court orders? This has been at the heart of our concern because we have been fearful that the Trump administration would continue to violate court orders and do so with greater and greater arrogance. And now you've got the perfect test case because a number of my Republican Senate colleagues have likewise expressed, at least rhetorically, their commitment to the rule of law and to the adherence to court orders. And here you have someone, this whistleblower, a venerated veteran prosecutor in the Justice Department, someone promoted within the Trump administration, someone who's given repeated accolades within the Justice Department, whether it was a Democratic or Republican attorney general at the time. You have the celebrated prosecutor fired because he won't go along with violating court orders. And he alleges in his complaint that he was essentially instructed, or higher-ups like Beauvais in the department were willfully and knowingly violating court orders. They were making misrepresentations to the court, and they were withholding information from the court. That's about as serious an allegation as you could get. And this guy who is doing all that and overseeing all that, they're nominating to the Court of Appeals. So that is going to be a central area of focus, of course, his malign handling of the corruption case in the involving the mayor of New York, his malign handling of a different case in D.C. where he essentially instructed prosecutors to make false allegations of a criminal investigation so they could freeze federal funds. Those prosecutors refused those unethical acts. Emil Beauvais is kind of the central person in these malign schemes.
We will be watching that confirmation hearing tomorrow. Senator Adam Schiff, please stay with us. We're going to take a squeeze in a commercial break right here. I want to find out what happened on the briefing you were supposed to get about what is happening in Iran and why that was canceled today. We'll be right back with Senator Schiff. Schiff is back with us. Senator, what do you make of the Trump administration's explanation for why you haven't been briefed?
I don't buy that explanation at all. Clearly, there is something either they don't want to tell the Congress or they're not eager to share with the Congress. Many of us requested a briefing before the president made the decision to bomb these nuclear sites in Iran. We wanted to get to the bottom of, frankly, this very public dispute between the intelligence community and the president over whether Iran had made a decision to pursue a bomb, whether it was building a mechanism of a bomb, or whether, as the Director of National Intelligence testified just 3 months ago, no, they hadn't made that decision. And yes, they were enriching uranium, but they had not made the decision to build a bomb. So we already wanted a briefing to try to figure out, OK, where does the truth lie here when you've got this contradiction within the administration? Then post-strike, you now have the president and Hegseth saying it was a complete success. Everything's been obliterated. But then you have other suggestions, and you have now public reporting that may very well not be true. So Congress needs to know. We should have been briefed, frankly, before these strikes. We should have been brought into this decision constitutionally. We should have either authorized it or not authorized it, refused to. But at a minimum, we absolutely should have a briefing ASAP. And to put it off like this with such a lame excuse just doesn't pass the smell test.
In all your years of experience on the House Intelligence Committee, were there briefings in situations where the Secretary of Defense could not be there?
Oh, of course. And you would have briefings often with the principals, like the different secretaries. You would often have briefings where you didn't have the principals. You had really the professionals. You had those that were at top levels of the different intelligence community agencies who, frankly, in a situation like this, I'm much more interested in hearing from. If you look, for example, at the briefing the other morning with Hegseth and General Kane, Hegseth just gave the political spin. His comments were pretty worthless. Kane, you could have some confidence, was basing what he was saying in fact and grounding it in fact. So I'm not particularly interested in hearing from Hegseth. I would rather hear from the professionals at DOD, the professionals within the intelligence community. They're much more likely to be the source of fact than these spin artists.
And with each passing day, it may well be that there's more publicly available information from more sources than just American intelligence leaks.
I mean, certainly, you know, we're not the only ones gathering intelligence on this, and there's going to, I'm sure, continue to be public reporting. But we don't want to rely on the public reporting. We want to get the best sense from the intelligence community of, were these strikes successful? I hope they were. I hope they destroyed every Iranian facility. I hope they were able to eradicate any potential of reconstituting it. But if they weren't, we darn well need to know it, because one of the concerns many of us had is that Iran, having not made the decision to pursue a bomb prior to the strikes, may decide now to do a clandestine rush to develop the bomb, thinking they're better off being a nuclear state than being a threshold state. If they already have the nuclear material, or if the centrifuges weren't destroyed, then that is a far more dangerous situation. So I want to know the truth. Members of Congress deserve to know the truth, and the American people deserve to know the truth.
Senator Adam Schiff, thank you very much for joining us tonight.
Thank you.